Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you? How's everyone doing? I hope everybody is having a great day. Um, I have a YouTube page. My name is Felicia Lamage. I have a YouTube page called Positive Living, and I have a topic to talk about today. Talking about parents now versus the parents then. And I have everything on my topics that I wrote down because I just want to go through these things. Um, and my topic is pretty much about how important it is to have a future for your kids, how important it is to prepare for your kids' future. I wrote down that it is important to prepare for your kids' future. It is important as a parent to set up your future so your kids won't have to, they should be there to only assist you when you grow up, when you get older. And I also wrote down teach your kids the importance of education, take care of your kids properly and the best way you can. The key points that I'm going to be talking about or saying something about is the special gifts that your kids may have, the special gifts or talents, maybe the sports gifts they might have in sports. Talk to them about going to college when they grow up or going to trade school, bettering themselves, and also make sure you save. As a parent, you should save money, have money saved up so your kids won't have to struggle when they get out of high school, and also teach your kids responsibilities. So the reason why I chose to talk about this subject, but first of all, before I talk, I'm sitting close to my patio. The lake is right here. I have a beautiful patio where the lake is at. Did anybody see the lake? It's beautiful. The reason I'm talking about this subject is because it's so important. I've seen a lot of parents have done a great job raising their kids, all their kids educated, all their kids have, like I said, all the kids have degrees, all their kids have, now they grew up, have nice houses, they have families, and I just think that, I give a lot of love and much love to the parents that did raise their kids in a proper way and made sure their kids didn't struggle when they got out of high school, because it's a lot of work when your kids grow up, they graduate, and then when they get out of high school, they have to get a job, which is not a problem. Getting a job is not a problem, but they should be able to rely on their parent to help them financially in order to get a car or to get to go to school, or even to, if their parents see them working or whatever, they might not pay for their rent, the whole rent, but they help them to maybe pay for the first rent. They want to get an apartment and stuff when they turn 18, 19, 20, or 21 years old. Because that's also teaching your kids responsibility. And then if you do that as a parent, your kids will respect you when you grow up. Your kids will see what you have done to help them do what they need to do when they graduate, and they will respect you. Some parents grow up, some parents, as they will have kids, and then the kids have to struggle a lot, struggle. It may not have proper clothes or proper, they may have something to eat, they're going to feed them, but they might not eat a lot because they may not have a lot of money and all that. And it's like, sometimes it's like, why would you have kids if you can't really take care of them properly? Why would you have kids? Why would you bring kids in the world when we can't take care of them properly? And I just feel that kids are very precious. And before we even have kids, we should already have a plan for their future, already have a plan that my kid is going to have a better future than I did. My kid will be taken care of. Me, myself, and my husband. Personally, I do take pride in taking care of my kids. I take pride in taking care of my kids. I take pride in taking care of my nieces and nephews. I like to make sure, I'm not perfect or anything, but I like to make sure kids have the things they need. I like to make sure kids, go outside, they play, make sure they go to places, because when they go to places and they learn a lot of things, not keeping them in the house all day, making them stay in their room, but, that's not going to help them learn anything, keeping them caped up in the house. But it's important, to teach the kids. Have them do sports, have them do extra activities. If they're failing in a subject or not doing well in the subjects, it's important to get them a tutor. It's important to work harder with them. Don't let them say, oh, you're not going to do good, or you're not, whatever. But as a parent, it's important. These things happen. We have to make sure we have the funds and the liabilities to help our kids do better. Like I say, kids back then, or children back then, the generation before me, some kids or some people grew up on the farm and country and just like the farm life, country life. And then when you grow up and you have your own kids, you kind of raise them country and raise them like you was raised and stuff. Living on a farm, living on a country, is nothing wrong with that. But we have modern technology, and some people have shied away of trying to even learn how to work with computers and stuff, and it's not a good thing. I like to see people even 70, 75 years old, 80 years old on a computer, because modern technology have done a lot for our for the kids, or for the future. Modern technology have done a lot, and I'm just saying, it really is a struggle when the child have to grow up. When they get out of college, they don't have money, or their parents, didn't set them up. They don't have money for them saved up. It's really hard for a high school student or a child to have to do that, have to struggle that way. And then when we grow up, or our parents grow up, we have to end up, and we might get married and might have kids. We have to end up taking care of our parents, help working, taking care of our parents and stuff. But your parents didn't really set themselves up to help you, to help you in your future, to give you an oasis to start at when you graduate or when you get married and stuff. And it's like, it's unbelievable to me, and it's like, to be honest, it's not fair that people have to do that. I understand that things happen, but things happen, and usually the kids that would grow up will bounce back and be able to take care of themselves, get over their thought of their parents, not really being able to help them financially and stuff. But some kids don't. Some kids, they really, really struggle. They have to get a job at McDonald's, start off. Then they have to take classes. They have to pay for their own classes and all that, It's really hard. It's really not fair that a child have to do that. So what I'm talking about is, please, to the parents that grow up these days, make your kids' future easier for them. First of all, teach them, I'm sorry to even forget to say this at first, teach them about God. As a Christian, I like to teach my kids about serving God, thanking God, because God will bless you if he sees you serving him, if he sees you, giving him honor and reverence. He will bless you. And then make sure they go to a good school. I mean, all schools might not be as perfect as you might want them to be, but it's good for, to teach your kids to be responsible in school, to make yourself, to better yourself. When you get out of school, you can be somebody. You can be a doctor, you can be a teacher, you can be a nurse, you can be anything, as long as you go to school and work hard, you can do that. But at the same time, if you teach your kids that, you have to be an example. You have to be the one that have a degree or even a certificate, a trade, a trade, went to trade school, maybe to do hair or to be a nursing assistant or a medical assistant or something, Right now, I teach my kids, you need to be thankful that your parents, I have a degree, associate's degree in healthcare management. I'm also going to school for nursing right now. And it makes you feel good, that you're trying to be an example to your kids, to help them to see that education is good, doing something is good. Even going to trade school to be an electrician or electronics or whatever, computer technician, is really good. So if your kids see you doing that, they will want to do that. They should not have to struggle when they get out of high school. They shouldn't have to struggle for money. They shouldn't have to struggle. If they want to get a job, that's fine to have extra money. But the parents should have money saved up. Parents should have a retirement for themselves. Parents should have life insurance for themselves. Parents should have all the insurances for medical insurance for themselves, health insurance. So their kids won't have to deal with that when they grow up. As they might help. They might help their parents, or me personally, might help my parents. Make sure they're taking care of themselves, make sure they're living properly, making sure, if they need help with something, maybe give them some money. But we shouldn't have to use our energy and all of our funds to help our parents do something that they should have done, when we were kids personally. It's really hard. And also, I went on to, the talents. You should try to put your kids into sports so you can see what sports or what abilities your kids have. Kids have sports abilities and stuff like that. It's important to see which talents and gifts your kids have, and feed their talent. Like, if you see them have a good football talent or good basketball talent, make sure you talk to their coaches, or make sure you put them on teams at the YMCA or the community clubs and stuff like that. Make sure you put them on a team. Make sure they know how to swim, or make sure they know how to do something. Make sure they know how to play an instrument or do music. Even I'm appreciating my mom. My mom taught me how to play music and piano, and now I can, venture out in music. Music now. If I want to make a CD, I can make a CD. If I want to make music and promote my music and stuff, I can do it because my mom taught me. She taught my brothers and sisters as well. And but it's not really about music. It's not really about what you mentally or teach your kids. It's really about the financial. It's about you having money saved up all the time to help your kids. Even if they get married, their first year of marriage, they might have money, but they might need help in something because they're still young. We're still growing up. They might need help financially in something. So parents should always have money to help their kids. Parents should always have money. Kids, when you grow up, you're 20, 30 years old, we shouldn't have to be struggling. We shouldn't have to struggle too much. You're going to struggle sometimes through life, but we shouldn't have to struggle so much that it will help us. It will make us not